Blue Cross River Rink. Give a me too if you've been to the Blue Cross River Rink.
It's like some people go ice
It's
skating.
like ice skating, but it also has like lots of food stalls.
Yeah.
Okay, give a me too if you've ever walked in by the Liberty Bell, all that museum, the Independence Hall, all of that kind of historic area. And then also, you can picture Old City, historic old homes, brick cobbled streets, tiny little stores, a really pretty area of Philadelphia. Okay, Chloe, Zara, and Lily are here to take it away. We're excited to hear their presentation on their what they're gonna do. Big and loud, guys.
Okay.
So you can just look up here because this is kind of I wrote it up for you.
Okay, I'll start. Okay. So like, we're gonna redesign a pier that's like not used that much because there's like some piers that people like a whole bunch of people know and that they use that one because that one's more popular, and then they don't use the other piers which are getting like not used. And our group looked at like some piers, and some of them have stores that probably are not doing like good because nobody's really going inside, I guess. um and then we're also going to make like a Black History Museum in one of them.
That's focused on like the American history and the founding of America. And so that why are we doing that?
Because there's like all the history that a lot of people learned is just white, like sometimes white men history, and then it's just like, oh, George Washington did this, Ben Franklin did this.
Right. And what's also, that's the bottom floor of your pier is going to have the Black History Museum, and who wants to talk about what's going to be on top?
So we're going to put like apartments, like affordable housing, apartments, and lots of other cool stuff. Well, houses and apartments mostly.
And what's the key thinking behind making them affordable housing, Lily?
Because Old City is a rich neighborhood, and many people who don't have like as much money don't live there, so we want to make it affordable for everyone.
Really great. And Zara, do you want to talk about the no driving zone? It's right there. You can just read it, honey, if you want.
Creation of the no driving zone in Old City to increase walkability and cut down on emissions and encourage alternative forms of transportation.
And can you explain to us, like, what does that mean? That's kind of in teacher language. These are my notes on what your project is. But any of you, type in. What are we trying to do with cutting down on so much cars in Old City?
You wrote about it.
Okay. So like, we're gonna have hours in Old City where we're gonna have a street where it's blocked off. No cars, no motorcycles, like no stuff that's powered. And we're going to have like we're gonna allow kids and people in like wheelchairs and people with a rollerblade. We're gonna allow them to be on the streets so they can like just so they don't have to like worry going on the sidewalks and getting hit by a car.
And kind of creating more of a public zone for walking in Old City. Awesome. Let's start by thinking about praise. I'm looking for people who will give praise to this group. And for this, I'm going to have people come up to the microphone if you're a in-school friend. So praise, something that you really enjoy, something that you really enjoy from this group. Oh, okay, where did you find them, Alex? Thanks so much. Okay, great. So somebody coming up for praise. Praise is, remember, we're working on our compliments. Anybody in school? I'm going to get Nick to come up and Vita to come up for praise.
So one of mine is I can't really see but I like how you're calling down like the walkability stuff because I need to do that. We need to do that in my group too, but we couldn't find a way. And I think it's like a good idea that you're like doing like hours
where there's no cars.
Yeah, like no cars.
Great. Vita, something else that you'd like to compliment from this group?
I like affordable housing.
Can you explain why, Vita? What about that idea seems beneficial to you for Old City?
I think it's good in that way that no one is like left behind because they don't have that much money.
Yeah,
That's
great.
what we were trying to focus on. There's so much
wealth.
Like,
there's a lot of wealth and there's a lot of white and old history. Looking for this is us thinking about feedback, things that they might not have considered or questions you have about their work. Let's bring Sasha up first.
When you guys walk, do you accept bikes to be there?
Yes.
Okay.
Just non-powered bikes. Okay, I think that's a great idea. So creating kind of more of a fitnessy
Like
sustainable and kind of a play zone for kids, because there's not a lot of like kid-focused parks in Old City. Feedback from Van.
You guys, so like, do you allow like motor vehicles? For like example, like an electric scooter.
That's a great question. So what would qualify? I think that Van's bringing up, how do we define?
Electric scooters are still scooters either way. It's not like it's a motorcycle where it like smoke goes out of it. Or
so you're thinking that it has to be kind of powered sustainably in order for it to be like allowed during the hours in the no driving zone.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Micah, last one. Come on up. Oh, Andres, I'll get you in 1 second. Micah's coming up, and then we want to hear your voice.
So you said at the beginning that this is a pier that's not used that much. Do you think this would help? Like, would this help like more people come here?
Yeah, because there's gonna be like we're still thinking about having a Black History Museum at the bottom, and then at the top having apartments or like affordable housing, because we might do that so people like can come inside and see like Black History museums, and then somebody can and plus like
And creating more like livable space that's for smaller, like a lot of the housing in Old City, guys, is like townhomes where somebody owns the entire house, right? And apartments would allow it to be more accessible, I think, is the idea. So yeah, I think.
And also, where is the pier?
Ooh, yeah, we have to pick out the pier.
We have to pick out the pier, but we have this one pier in mind, but we don't know the name.
We got it. Go ahead, Andres.
So technically, you mean like motorcycles or anything has like smoke in it? It could be dangerous because what if kids come and like crash because of the smoke being in the way?
that's why we said no motorcycles or smoke vehicles.
Yeah, anything that uses gasoline, I think, would be kind of banned. But anything electric, but maybe not an electric bicycle because it's like really fast powered. You might want to keep it to a kind of a speed limit too. Van, last thing really quick.
So is it like a pier like that they have at the beach? Like, you know, like
it's
more
like
industrial, more
it's
like for
like
us.
it's like the piers that are like that have. It's like I believe like it's like to board a ship.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it used to be used for like bringing stuff into the city of Philadelphia. Let's look up piers, Philadelphia. So there's Morgan Pier, Cherry Street Pier, and Race Street Pier, which are all piers that have kind of been already made nice, but we were looking.
We're trying like to find a good pier to.
So a lot of these have been turned into apartments, just like they're thinking, although they're very expensive apartments. So I think we're trying to figure out. I'll show you an example of kind of an unused pier. Hopefully, hold on.
Teacher Alyssa, I saw an apartment building that I always see.
Oh yeah.
On there.
Sorry, this is taking me a second. Give me 1 second. Let's see if we can figure it out. No, I don't need directions. Okay, there we go.
And about our
I guess the best way to see it would be this. Okay, so this is the front of a pier that's been renovated. But if we look at, like, you can see this is Benjamin Franklin Bridge that we're heading towards.
if we would like to have like a pier near there, like
This is kind of an example of one. This is Cherry Street Pier, which has been renovated, but they're going to take another pier that's kind of like this, that's not being used, to turn it into the Black History Museum and the America's Founding. We're going to need a good name for the History Museum, but the kind of a history of Black America's founding too, with apartments on top. Okay, let's pause and think. Looking at their big project overview, I'm wondering, do you, as a group of citizens of Philadelphia, do you feel like this would be a Philadelphia you would want to be part of? Do you approve their ideas with the suggestions we've made? It looks like we're in agreement. We have approved our Old City, PENNS Landing, and Liberty Bell Group. All right, let me